for coming today. My name's Lisa Reale. I'm the press secretary for the High Speed Rail Authority. We're going to take a short tour today to talk about some of the progress we've made on high speed rail to date. We're currently standing on the site of the old Del Monte plant. Our team will talk about what it meant to abate it, take out all the hazardous materials, and then tear it down. We are joined by some people I'll introduce in a minute. Then we're going to walk across the street and look at the building that we're going to be tearing down on Thursday to make way for the high-speed rail station and high-speed rail. And then we're going to go back onto the site where the groundbreaking will be and talk about that is one of the places where the station will be located. And we'll talk about the revitalization of what that means. So joining me today is Diana Gomez, G-O-M-E-Z. She is our regional director for the Central Valley. I'm also joined by Hugo Mejia. For Spanish-speaking media, he does do interviews in Spanish, so we can do that after the tour. We are also joined by Paul Cachadorian. He is a local veteran from Fresno that owns a small business, doing all the hazardous work with him. And he's brought 2 of his employees that have been taken off CalWorks. They'll talk in a moment. We're also joined by Jill Croker. Jill is a local Fresno native and is doing all the demolition work for the program. We're also joined by Blake Hansel. Blake, where are you? Blake is with the Fresno. He is doing a lot of the training for the workforce to build high-speed rail. And we're joined by Daniel Zach with the city of Fresno, who will talk about revitalization. So I'm going to turn it over to Diana Gomez to talk about what we've done on high-speed rail to date and what it means for Fresno. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. To Fresno. So this is a great day for us. It's a celebration today of our project, and to also thank everybody that has worked on our project and has got us to this point so far. So for the past year or so, we have been designing, our contractor has been designing. We've been doing a lot of acquiring right-of-way. We've been doing clearing, doing a lot of demolition of some of the vacant buildings. And so we've been working with our local partners, the County of Fresno, the City of Fresno, Madera County, to finish up the designs so we can start doing big construction type jobs. Even though, so we have been actually doing construction type work with some of the demolition. We've been doing a lot of the testing for our piles. So a lot of activity has happened in the past year and a half. And so today is, that kind of to acknowledge where we're at and where we're going, and to really, so everybody could understand that this project is moving forward. And this is a first step, a big step in bringing high-speed rail to the state of California. So with that, you take questions now or?
We'll do questions at the end.
Okay.
So Hugo Mejia is going to talk to us about kind of how many parcels we've purchased today, how we construct the 29-mile segment.
Good morning, my name is Hugo Mejia. I'm the Design and Construction Manager for the California High-Speed Rail Authority. And my job is to oversee the design and construction. This is a design-build project, so we have Tudor Perini, Zachary Parsons, who is our design builder, who is designing and constructing this project. To date, we have 38 parcels that require demolition. We've completed 18 of those, with 20 more pending. We have approximately 100 parcels with 420 or so remaining. So in the next 3 to 6 months, that is definitely going to pick up. We're going to see a lot more parcels being acquired so that we can continue the work and continue along our alignment. The process for construction, to be honest with you, we've been underway for a few months already, since June. The process is first we abate a property, we determine what hazardous material are on the property, and then we remove that, and then we're clear to demolish the building. And from buildings, if you are familiar with this area, this is a pretty big site here. It's a big building here that we had at Del Monte. And within the last 3 months or so, that's gone to what we see here today. And the pile that you see behind me is also a part of that. With a high-speed rail project, we are required to divert 100% of the steel and the concrete that we have as byproducts of our construction. So that is part of the recycling and sustainability effort that we have here. We have right now, like I said, 18 that we've completed, the demolitions. The property that you're going to go to next is one of the ones that will be done within the next couple weeks. So we're moving forward. As we acquire properties, we just move quickly to get the blight out of the way and get the properties demolished.
At what point will there actually be track?
There are 4 construction packages. The first 4 construction packages actually build the structures that are going to build underpasses and overpasses. In the 5th construction package, that's when you're going to see the actual rail and the train being put on there. So that'll be construction package number 4 is around the neighborhood of 2019 around there.
How is this being financed?
We anticipate track starting to be laid hopefully in early 2018 to 19. As you know, this is a 130-mile stretch, so there will be different parts in which track will be laid as it's being built.
How will it be financed?
Right now the program is being financed through a mix of state, federal dollars, and private sector money will be coming in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to Paul. Paul, why don't you tell them a little about your company and what you do? And if you guys need to move in to get better audio, you're more than welcome to do that.
Paul, what's your last name? Your face. Sorry, Paul.
I was not. I'll do my best. My name is Paul Katchadourian. It's spelled Katchadourian. I'm the owner of Catch Environmental. We're a local company. I was actually born in Fresno, downtown Fresno. So this project means a lot to me and to my company, and it's really been able to help us. I'd like to thank the California High Speed Rail for the opportunity to be here to say a few words, and Tudor Perini, Zachary Parsons for the opportunity to subcontract for them. To date, everything has worked out wonderful. Everybody's been very easy to work with. Myself being a small company, some of the rules and regulations, it's been a learning curve. It's been a lot to keep up with, and these companies that I'm working with have really been a big help. Now, what this project has done for my company has allowed us. We started about 10 years ago as Catch Environmental, and before this project started, we had about 8 guys working, and we were doing a lot of local remediation jobs and hazardous abatement jobs and projects. This project has allowed me to grow my company by 25 employees, and because I felt like we were given so much the opportunity to have this job, that I decided to search out the people who are currently looking for work and not just moving laterally from another company. So I approached CalWorks, and with them we partnered up to train 25 guys, and the training consists of asbestos supervisor training, lead worker training, and now we're going to be moving into HAZWOPER training. It's about 2 to 4 weeks training prior to actually even starting any kind of work. So this job has been a big job booster for me. It's enabled me to hire people who are looking for work and who wasn't there for any other reason, unemployed, for any other reason that they didn't have the opportunity. It's hard to get a job where you have to train somebody, put them in so much training ahead of time. With the high-speed rail and construction package 1, it's given me the opportunity to bring people from unemployment or from other areas or job seekers and give them work that they wouldn't normally have the opportunity to grow my company, to expand, and we hope to keep on growing and to hire even more people. I just want to again thank everybody for being here, and I want to thank all the people who supported the high-speed rail. I could tell you personally, from a guy who was born in Fresno, who voted for it a long time ago, I didn't have any idea that I'd be working on this project, and it's been a big blessing. The first place of high-speed rail in the United States is nothing but amazing for all of us who live here. It's something that rarely happens to Fresno. Usually other parts of the state have federal dollars or big jobs opportunities start there. So for me being from Fresno, just want to tell everybody, we really appreciate the work. Thank you.
Can we get your title?
President of Catch Environmental.
And that's Kroeker, Inc. And there's not much to say after Paul said it all. It's a great opportunity for anybody that has a small business to be able to grow their business with a job you know that's going to be there, and you're not always chasing the next one. So it has been a game changer for my company. And it's the same thing that Paul says, allows you to hire people that, we have a young veteran working for us, John, who is so excited just to have a job where he's going to have a career. And he started out as a laborer. He's gotten his Class A license, and now he wants to also think about becoming an operator. So I'm hoping to get more employees like him that are not only going to have a job, but they're going to get a career. And I'm going to let Brian Herrick, my project manager, talk to you about the demolition, because he actually was the project manager in charge of this job.
It was 3 stories tall, roughly 75 feet tall. The main structure was basically right about where we're standing. The total building size was 110,000 square feet. It was a concrete and steel structure. The structure on the south end was a metal structure. We began in the summer. This end of the building, the north end of the building, was caught on fire and burned, and so they kind of expedited the project. Paul's company was very responsive, came in, abated all the asbestos and other hazardous materials out of the building. That's the first step to demolition, is basically removing the hazardous materials from the building. And then we came in, did some specialized abatement. We kind of teamed up with Cacciadorian to remove the roof off the building because the roof was asbestos. And then that took about a month and a half. And then we demoed the building, and that took another 6 weeks. The above ground work is roughly about half of the work of the project, and then there's large footings, concrete, underground structures that had to be removed also. And then, of course, we grade the site out. All the steel, all the concrete will be recycled. They'll actually crush and grind the concrete material and reuse it in the project during construction. All the material is stockpiled right now down at 2 locations. There's 1 location at Divisadero and G Street. Currently there's about 4,000 tons of concrete down at that location. And then at Kroeker's recycling facility down at Chestnut and 99, there's another 7,000 tons of concrete material down there waiting to go back into the project. All the steel we send to the local Schnitzer Metals, and they recycle all the steel. And then the construction debris also goes to Kroeker's recycling facility. And I think we're running right now on the C&D, we're running between 80 and 85% on our recycle rate. So that means only 15 to 20% of the C&D is going to landfill. Overall, by weight, the project's running on demolition, we're running around that 95% by weight on recycle.
Tell me, was this plant in use up until this time, or if not, how long had it been out of use?
I'm not 100% sure, but I've heard that this plant was out of commission for over 12 years.
And what will be at this site? Is this going to be part of the station or track?
This will be part of the station. It's a great segue. We can bring in the city of Fresno. Now, Daniel, do you mind joining us really quickly? When people think of a high-speed rail station, you know, they think of like one platform, but we will have a campus, if you will. And Daniel here with the city, it's Daniel, proper spelling Zach, Z-A-C-K. He'll talk about kind of what the downtown station means for the revitalization of Fresno and the future.
It's fitting that we're here to kick off this project because this is the birthplace of Fresno right here. Fresno was founded as a railroad town. The Victorian building behind you is the train station site where this town was started. And so what we're really hoping is that this new facility will be the rebirth of a new Fresno, again at the same spot around a similar kind of facility. And so we're doing a lot of things right now to really capitalize on this and really make sure that the coming years are very prosperous for Central Fresno and all of Fresno. And so what we have going on right now, just at a glance, is Fulton Mall, which is our main historic main street, behind us here with the tall buildings, is undergoing a $16 million makeover. And when it's done, it'll be open up to traffic, still big, very pedestrian friendly type of street. And when we're done with it, I think it will be the finest urban street within a 100-mile radius. And so that is 2 blocks from the entrance to the train station. And so that'll be kind of our gateway into the city. 70, 80 years ago, 50 miles of streetcar lines tied into this Southern Pacific train station right now. And in the next generation of Fresno, our new bus rapid transit system will also tie into this to take people from here out to other parts of downtown and other parts of Fresno. Both of those projects, Fulton Street and the bus rapid transit, will be online in 2016. So those are huge projects that we're using to revitalize our downtown, and also they will help kind of improve the beneficial effects of high-speed rail. Part of our vision too is for downtown to be a very dense, walkable, vibrant, multi-purpose urban district. And so we're doing a lot of things to help spur development along in the downtown. We just passed a new general plan in December that directs half of the city's growth into the old part of the city, whereas the vast majority of it for the last couple of generations has gone on the edge of the city. That's a big change for us. And then right now we are crafting plans and codes to help make that happen. And so the goal is to have housing, office space, hotels, restaurants, shopping, and entertainment, all in very compact, walkable layout, like the traditional form of downtown Fresno used to be, surrounding this station and really integrating it into it well, so that people who disembark from the train find themselves right in the middle of a really active, exciting urban area. And this is a place where they might want to visit, live, work, or have a conference here, so on and so forth. And so it all ties in together really nicely. And so we think that high-speed rail, combined with our affordability, combined with the vibrant downtown district that we're creating, that we're putting a lot of energy into making, all those together are really going to make this future era for Fresno really prosperous.
First and last name spelling of both names?
Dan, D-A-N, and Z-A-C-K.
And what is your title?
Assistant Development Director.
City of Fresno.
City of Fresno, yes. Thank you.
Getting close on time. We're going to do any questions and answers here and then wrap up the tour. We can go shoot B-roll at the chop shop, but we'll be talking about the same things. So does anyone have any questions or things that they want to address that we haven't spoke about today?
When do you think the station here will actually open?
Well, we are going to be in operations between Merced and Burbank by 2022.
Everybody keep it crowding.
Help me here. So our first segment that will be in operations is called the initial operating segment, and it's from the city of Merced to the Burbank airport, and that's going to be operational by 2022. And so when we talk about when the station will be open, it's got to be open by 2022. If we'd like to progress and advance our program faster if possible, because the faster we build this thing, the cheaper it will be. So we're hoping to beat that deadline, but 2022 is anticipated time right now.
What's a ticket going to cost for a rider?
So right now we average it sort of like you do an airfare, $81 to $89, but it will also fluctuate first class, business class, day of. It will also be set by the operator of the system. Our board and the state will put some parameters in place, but then the operator will ultimately decide what that ticket price will be, but it will be comparable and or lower than an airplane ticket.
81 to 89, you say? From
80, San Francisco to LA. In our last few business plans, we've estimated $81 to $89.
And that's current year dollars?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
That's one way?
Yes, sir.
So demolition has already been going on. There's been engineering work. So what's different about this official groundbreaking day?
Well, what's official is, I mean, we've been, everybody's been asking about the groundbreaking, even though we have broken ground in different parts. But today it's really, a symbolic event, and it's showcasing that we have been doing work and work continues, and also really thanking all of those who have been very supportive of the project. So it's about them and honoring them and thanking them.
So there's something significant about the next phase that this time period is marking?
Well, what you're going to start seeing is a lot more construction. You're going to start seeing utility relocation. You're going to continue seeing a lot more demolition. You could start seeing some of the underpasses being built here in downtown Fresno. So you can see a lot more activity here in downtown Fresno.
Have you figured out a cost per mile?
We don't. We estimate the system between San Francisco and LA is $67.5 billion, and that's for everything.
And how will that be paid for?
Including interest?
It's being paid with a mix of state, federal, and then private sector funds.
What about Sacramento and San Diego?
Those prices have not been estimated yet.
And you said the faster it's built.
Hold on just a second.
If you could just elaborate, you said the faster it's built, the cheaper it
Yeah,
is.
the whole goal with high-speed rail and the increased funding that we received last year through the cap and trade program is to allow us to accelerate the program. So the faster we can build high-speed rail, in theory, the cheaper it will be as costs can go up and down over the years to come. So our goal is to accelerate and get this train built as fast as it can so that we can provide the riders in the state of California this new mode of transportation.
And when you go back to pricing, you said it's based off airline pricing. Is that what you said?
It's not based off, it's comparable to.
Compare. So
Yes.
it compares to like how short the train's going to be, how long you're going to be taking it.
It just depends. So like if I take a Southwest flight right now from Sacramento to LA, it depends. There's a different ranges of flights. You know, there's the wanna get away, etc. Our train tickets that will be decided on by the operator will have a varying price depending on different things.
Do you guys come up with like some type of like train pass that you can like in the city?
Those things are all down the road, but they're definitely things that we're going to be looking at, especially since we're integrating with other train systems. In the Bay Area, we're integrating with BART and Caltrain. In Southern California, we're integrating with Metro and Metrolink. So we'll want to be providing people with a seamless train ride throughout the state. And so those are all things we're looking at. So you had a question for Dan. Where did Dan go? Yes. Gentlemen.
Yes.
First, the figure you quoted, does that include interest?
You know, we'll talk about that offline, Gene. Let's let this young woman ask a question.
So short term, for sure, this is great for Fresno, but we have congressional Republicans saying now the money stops here pretty much. What is Fresno's plan B if in case this thing doesn't even move?
Well, we're building a great downtown no matter what, and we're going to benefit from that no matter what. So, you know, that's for other folks to figure out. I'm here to build the best downtown in the central part of the state, and City of Fresno will benefit tremendously from having a strong urban core, regardless of what happens with this system. With this system connecting us to the big metropolitan areas, we'll only be that much more successful, but we're going to build a great downtown and be successful regardless.
So there's no plan B, just in case the station...
Let's talk about the question you had about Congress. We currently don't need any more funding from Congress, so we're not asking them for any money. The money that we have right now has been appropriated and allocated to us. There's no, if you will, take back. We have to spend the $3.3 billion in federal funds by September of 2017. Right now and in the near future, we're not expecting anything from Congress. So the members of Congress that are threatening to take things away or not give us more, they can make those threats, but we don't need that money right now. We're not asking for it. We're not expecting it. So right now we feel comfortable with the federal funding we have and the state money that we're receiving from cap and trade and the private sector interests to continue to fund this program and make it a success.
Do you have private interest money secured?
We do not have it secured in the sense of an agreement in place, but we've met with over 24 private interests that have showed their interest in helping fund this program. And as a state agency, we have to work through what that sort of investment package would look like, whether it's a public-private partnership, a design build with a P3 element, and those things we're all exploring now. We just received that cap and trade funding over the summer, so we've had that interest come quickly at us, and we're trying to look at a way that we can make that work into our program.
The 24 meetings you had, can you put a time frame on that?
They started back in 2013, but the majority of them were in the last 6 months.
How much of the new gas tax goes towards this?
You know, I don't know that answer. We'd have to get back to you on that one. Did someone have a question? A hand? You, gentleman first.
The next section from Bakersfield to Southern California is going to be key to get this in place by the goal. What's the progress being made on getting over the mountains and through the San Gabriel Mountains and routing?
We are currently studying that. We are on our way to developing the environmental document for that and determining how the path to get us from Bakersfield to Palmdale. So we are working, and you'll probably start seeing some activities, some community meetings within the next 6 months about that section.
It's a goal of the authority in Bakersfield and Palmdale. We're working on that right now, like Diana said. Additionally, the Palmdale to Burbank component has been accelerated immensely. We are looking at a series of alternatives on the east side and the west side through the San Gabriel Mountains. We hope to have a draft EIR, environmental document, out for that within the next year, year and a half. There's a question. Yes.
Will California actually run the business side once, let's say, ticket sales and different things like that, or will it be a private contractor?
It will be privately operated, so we would eventually put that out for a competitive bid.
We will own the rights to oversee it and monitor it, but it will be a private operator.
When you talk about this campus, what's it going to look like?
In terms of the high-speed,
Yeah,
the station itself.
Yeah.
So what you see, the station itself, it would be right behind us. So there'll be, in a sense, the main station, which is right in front of the historic train depot. And then there'll be a concourse that goes over the 2 sets of tracks, the current existing train tracks and then our tracks. And there'll be a smaller station on this side. So you'll be able to access the stations from the Chinatown side and also from the Fulton Mall side.
What's the budget for the station?
And well, we are still working through that. We are determining what the costs are for the stations, and so we're working on that now.
We'd have to look, Ralph. I don't know what it is off the top of my head.
How has California been able to get to this point when other states have clearly not?
It's a big question.
I think that you'll hear today from some of our speakers that California is pioneering in a lot of things, and this is just another one that we can add to our list. We're the state that has brought, Google, iMacs, iPads, things happen in California, and we're going to be continuing to be on the forefront of that. We do have people chasing our heels, Texas, Florida. They're also looking at doing high-speed rail, but we think as the state of California, we are going to be the first one, and we're proud of that.
Might any of the trains be constructed in the valley?
Yeah,
and
that
if so,
is
can
well,
that benefit others?
So that is a possibility that they will. So we do have the Buy America, Build America clauses that we have to work with, and so that is a possibility that the trains could be built here in the Central Valley or somewhere in the California.
Can you both say your names and titles once again, please?
Diana Gomez, Central Valley Regional Director.
And I'm Lisa Marie Alley, the spokeswoman for the High Speed Rail Authority. All right, we're going to conclude in about 5 minutes.
I was just wondering about the procurement rate and ratios. Are they being met by the large corporations that are in charge of or that actually received the bids?
Well, I can go ahead and answer. In terms of our first 2 construction, you're talking about the small business goals. Yes. So our current contractor, Tudor Perini, has exceeded that goal by more than 30%. And so every consultant contractor that we have brought on board have either met those goals or exceeded them. And so in this case, also with the community benefits, Tudor Perini has exceeded that by more than 100%.
So for those that don't know, that are new, we have a 30% goal for small business participation in all of our contracts. So when Diana's talking about meeting and exceeding, that's a goal that our board set forth to ensure that local and state businesses were getting a bulk of this work. All right.
Are those numbers public?